In this video, I have the honor to give you the first look of the new Z-Man Chatterbait MicroMax BFS bladed jig. In addition, I'll give you a close-up comparison with other Z-Man chatterbaits so that you could decide whether these new chatterbaits will fit your fishing arsenal. And lastly, I'll give you some tips on how to fish these little guys to catch you more fish. So the MicroMax come in two sizes, a 3/16 and a 1/4 ounce. And let me show you some of the features of this new chatterbait. The scaled down bladed size allows a more finesse presentation as it will give a lesser rock and roll and a lighter vibe. And of course, a direct connection between the blade and the jig head ensures that it will vibrate immediately upon retrieving, and it will maintain within the water column that it is slow rolled in. It sports a size 1 black nickel hook, and it is very, very strong and sharp. The double keeper barb will hold plastic really well, especially Z-Man plastics. And lastly, the silicone skirts is hand tied via wire, so it ensures longevity, and also the silicone skirts will not melt with elastic materials. So how does this differ from other chatterbaits? I'm gonna first start off by talking about the Mini Max. Okay, so the Mini Max come in various sizes. The lightest Mini Max is a 1/4 ounce, but let's take a look at the blade. Okay, so this is a Mini Max compared to the MicroMax. As you see, the blade size is different between the MicroMax versus the Mini Max, and that will allow you to cover different water columns. In addition, the size of the hooks are different. The Mini Max sports a 2/0, whereas the MicroMax sports a size 1 hook. Now, the difference in the size, and also you can see the gauge difference, right? The larger chatterbait allows you to use larger baits, and given that this is a more finesse, it allows you to use smaller plastic, and with the thinner wire gauge, it allows you to set the hook with lighter tackle. So that is lighter lines and lighter rod powers. Now let's compare the new MicroMax to the OG Chatterbait Micro. Now the Chatterbait Micro comes at 1/8 ounce, but it actually weighs closer to a 1/4 ounce. Visually, you see that the jig head is going to be different. The skirt, of course, the new one is hand-tied versus the old one is held down by a rubber band. You can see that the hook of the old one is slightly larger and does not come with a bait keeper. Now, if you look very, very close at the blades, it looks somewhat the same size, but the bend at the very, very end and the shape and the size of the tip is slightly different. Now, for those who fish the Micro, you guys may have seen that this lure here may not chatter too well. Okay, in order for a chatterbait, in my definition, it's good, right? You have to be able to slow roll it, and it must maintain in a specific water column. That is how you effectively fish, and it's also very easy, a chatterbait, okay? But the very, very old one, it didn't do that. And I found that I can't really use it, okay? Sometimes when you slow down, it just stops chattering. And in order to get it to chatter again, you have to rip it. So what happened is it gets above too high in the water column, and it's no longer in the strike zone. Now, I can't say that this is a bad lure, okay? Like, there is other ways you can fish it, such as maybe lift and drop, rip and drop. Very, very effective, but you know, you could also do that with a new one. And the new one, because the shape of the blade is a little bit different now, it will ensure that it will chatter. Even when you stop right at the bottom and start retrieving slowly and let it go, it will chatter. Now, let's talk about some of the trailers that I like to use with the new Chatterbait MicroMax. One of my favorite is this guy right here. This is the Finesse Shad, and this is kind of big. It's 4 inches. It would be really cool if Z-Man decided to make a smaller version, like a 3-inch version, but I like to trim off basically 1 inch and put it on the chatterbait to ensure that it sinks to the depth I want. I can make it a little short if I want to. Okay, one of the key things that you could do to a chatterbait is figure out the right trailer, plastic trailer for your chatterbait so that you cover that water column effectively. And here is another one that I like, and it's pretty new. It's called a drop kickers. It's been pretty much used as a drop shot or on a jig, but it does have some salt, and I like to fish this on the Chatterbait MicroMax. It's very fun, the 2.75-inch version. So far fishing this chatterbait, I've been mainly fishing in the shallows, and I am loving it. And it could even get in some of the deeper waters. And what I like to do is cast this up to the shoreline, and I like to retrieve it. And I feel like this is a very beginner-friendly lure because you can simply slow roll it and it just get fish. Okay, but if you want to step it up and be a little bit more skilled in fishing a chatterbait, you got to know how to make this thing hunt. And a way that I like to do it is not really twitching the rod tip and make it dart. I prefer to do cranking. So you slow roll, and then once in a while you speed up a little bit and go back to a normal pace, and that will get your chatterbait to looks like it's either hunting or it's trying to escape from a predator. Now, as I mentioned, this is a great lure to fish from the shallows, and I like to, when I fish from a kayak, cast to the shoreline, and I'm just bringing it in, and once I get to the drop off, I like to kill it, just let it drop down, and it simulates, say, a bait fish or a bluegill trying to get towards and escape the shallows of a predator fish, right? And when it sees a drop off, what do bait fish like to do? They basically go to the contour and the drop off and kind of use that as a way to escape. Well, if you do that, it really trigger those fish to chase and hit your chatterbait. For tackle, I'm a bait finesse guy, so I like to use either a light to a medium light power rod, and I like to use something between 7 to 8 pound fluorocarbon line. 6 pounds will get you a little bit deeper, but sometimes if you're dealing with big fish or you fish areas with structure, that thin line might be a little sketchy. So shoot for 7 to 8 pounds, and don't be shy to try a little bit thicker line. I fished up to 8 pounds in shallow water, and it's extremely fun. Now, if you need to fish deeper water, you can always use PE line or braided line at the main line and use leader material of your choice. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, the first look of the new Chatterbait MicroMax. These will be available very soon at your local tackle dealers or your online shop. The fish don't wait. Get out there, get your chatterbaits, and have some fun.